Giants, whom shoulders we all stand upon, I say thank you. Sticks and stones may break my bones, but your words will forever empower me, greatest of all time. I'm happy to be alive. I'm happy to be who I am, Michael Jackson. Challenges make you discover things about yourself that you never really knew, Cicely Tyson. In order to change the world, you got to get your head together first, Jimi Hendrix. I sing to the realists, people who accept it like it is, Aretha Franklin. If you cannot find peace within yourself, you will never find it anywhere else. Marvin Gaye, by any means necessary. As a man, I always knew I was a star. Now the rest of the world seems to agree with me. Freddie Mercury, I'm no longer accepting the things I cannot change. I'm changing the things that I cannot accept. Angela Davis, G-O-A-T, greatest of all time. 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 Good communication is the bridge between confusion and clarity. Nat Turner, you get to an age where you get tired of hiding behind whatever people think is correct. Very right. What happens to a dream deferred? Does it drive like a raisin or does it explode like the news? My mother taught me that when you stand in the truth and someone tells a lie about you, don't find it when you use it. I imagine one of the reasons people cling to their hate so stubbornly is because they sense once the hate is gone, they'll be forced to deal with the pain. Pain forward. It's the mind that makes the body sojourner truth. One of the things that can solve most of our problems is dancing. James Brown, greatest of all time. G-O-A-T, 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 greatest of all time. To be afraid is to behave as if the truth were not true. Byron Rustin. We are all one, and if we don't know it, we will learn the hard way. Byron Rustin. I never accepted the idea that I had to be guided by some pattern of blueprint. Little Richard. A healthy body is worth more than any dollar amount. You don't want to be the wealthiest person on the hospital bed. Dr. Seeley. Never abandon your visions. Keep reaching to further your dreams. Benjamin Banneker. Life is short, and what we have to do must be done in the now. Audre Lorde. We as human beings must be willing to accept people who are different from ourselves. Barbara Joy. You never know where a blessing can come from. Tina Marie. G-O-A-T, greatest of all time. G-O-A-T, greatest of all time. G-O-A-T, greatest of all time. If you can conceive it and believe it, you can achieve it. But there must be a plan. We have to set goals, review them constantly, shift directions when necessary, but always stay focused. Andrea Jenkins, G-O-A-T, G-O-A-T, greatest of all time. Good day, y'all. What's up? What's up?
Good day.
Welcome to Freedom Stars. Steve Osborne here.
Kevin Upson.
That song that just played is called GOAT, G-O-A-T, greatest of all time. Created by yours truly. It's on our channel. Y'all want to check it out. It's a powerful song. Today we have a new topic. Since we have this first season that started, with the two of us and no longer a third co-host,
Liner.
We're gonna be visiting a lot of those topics and bringing them back forward to the present. So the topic that we have today is what's your definition of motherhood and what's your definition of fatherhood? And as you know, we speak from our own personal experiences, and everybody might have a different definition. Like the hit, here you go. But what's your well, you want to start on motherhood or fatherhood? And we jump all over the place, y'all know that anyway, so we just finna dive in it.
Well, they say that the word mother from a child is like the purest and most, the mother to a child is like God. That's the biggest person, the biggest thing you're gonna see other than your dad. Your dad, you come to your dad for some, protection, for security. Your mother, you go to your mother for that warmth and that love, the hugs and the kisses. Some people have their own. Some it's different for some people. Everybody don't. Some people will gravitate more to their dad than their mother. Some people gravitate their mothers more than their dad. Mm-hmm. Sometimes it depends on who's in your life the most, but then naturally you gravitate to that one. I think I kind of gravitate to my grandfather the most. I don't know because how big he was, but to me it was just how big and kind he was. That's what got me with my grandfather. I love my mother, my father. I loved my grandmother, but my love for my grandfather is like, I don't know what it was different. It was because the time we moved from New York to South Carolina, I kind of walked farther than I thought I should have, leaving from my grandfather them house. And I got to this big hill because I was just going through these meadows, and they had these birds called quails. They're not real big flyers. They can fly up and go down, but they fly probably 12 feet and just come back down. They fly up and go back down. They don't just fly like from a city to another city. And I was just chasing the quails and whatnot. And next thing I know, I must have been on this older Anglo's property, and I saw this truck come up the street. And there was a dirt road over, back then it was this 1970 and like 70 something. It was dirt roads. So by the time he get this big cloud of dirt and he stops on the road, he rolled his window down, and he said some nasty stuff to me. And I was standing there frozen. I was kind of laughing too because I was young and I was from New York. I was 5 or 6 years old, and this Anglo with this deep Southern country accent was talking rude, but it was still sounded the way he sounded funny from something I seen on TV. So my granddad was coming down the street because he saw the car stop me, saw me walking from the meadows to where the car was, and by the time my granddad got there, he was like, "What did he say to you? Tell me what he said." And I told him what he said, and my grandfather picked me up, had me on his back, said some words to that old man. He rolled his one up and put that car in reverse and went straight on back up the hill. And he told me don't go down that far by myself. I was too small to be. Remind you, I was born in '64, so if I was 5 or 6, that had to be like 69 and 70. So it was still real. Segregation was just over in what, 69. I always forget the thing about it. I was a kid, but I still keep forgetting that how much progress was made from the time I was born to I started walking around and started figuring things out with life. And I think that's what got me so close to my grandfather, because I never I walked with my mother. I walked with my mother to the grocery stores, and I had Anglos, and this is in New York, being a small kid, and having people cursing and yelling at my mother, and I'm like asking my mother, why is they so mad at us? And being a kid, I didn't know. She was trying to be sweet and not put it as hard as it was, telling me that some people are just messed up in the head, and we didn't do anything to them, and and I don't have to worry about. But I'm thinking my mother's small. My mother was real small, and she was real short. So I'm like, the next time this happened, I'll always get a fork. She'll always catch me. I'll get little smaller steak knives. I'll always try to have something with me because I'm not gonna stand there and let nobody get up in my mother's face. And no matter how small I am, I stab them in the ankles and they pass out. So she would check me and take it out of my pocket, and And this one time I had an ice pick. She didn't know it was an ice pick because, you know, the ice pick has these little wooden sleeves they ain't going to. So I had that in my back pocket. And anytime anybody walks to my mother, I pull that thing out and they see it. And they think twice before they start opening their mouth. I put it back in my pocket. I had that for the longest before she figured out what it was. But I always felt like I had to protect her because how small she was. But my dad would buck up to a gorilla if it was, you know, one of us between him and a gorilla. But my dad had the qualifications. He had all the things to be a good father, but he let alcohol get the best of him and his gambling. He let those addictions take over him. But when he wasn't intoxicated, when he wasn't you know, wasting money, he was a good person. He just lost his way with alcohol. But yeah, I loved my grandfather. I guess I was a grandfather's
boy.
Boy, yeah.
And I was a grandma boy.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that was deep. Yeah. I think to me the definition of motherhood, it falls in line with what you just said. Like the mother, you know, that's the nurturer. That's the first person really you get to meet that, you know, when you come into the world, and then that's the person that you know during the duration of, you know, while she's carrying you for 9 months. So I think that's a special relationship. And yeah, I think that's that nurturer. That's the one to help you with your wounds when you fall, and you know.
But your situation with your grandmother, that's different because grandmothers, they are the abundance of love.
Yeah.
To a grandchild.
Then I think that's the person that, like, with my mom taught me how to color, you know, because I wound up being an artist, know how to draw and sketch, and you know, she had this special thing she did. We'll have. Because back then, they probably sell them now, but they had them big jumbo coloring books. You remember those?
I remember those, yeah.
And we'll find a page that both of us liked, and it was just me and her, because I'm the oldest kid, so this before any other kids were born. We'll have the coloring book on the ground, and she'll be doing one page, and I'll be doing one page, and I'll look at what she's doing. She took the black crayon, and she always like to trace, you know, outline whatever it was, and color it in real good. So yeah, my mom taught me a lot. She wasn't a perfect mom, but she, you know, I was the first child, and always
a single parent.
I believe that
she had to learn.
I believe that the first kids are like the experimental kids.
Yeah.
So I was that experiment, but my grandma, like Kel said, my grandma, you know, she stepped in and she played a crucial part in helping shape me, you know, to be the person that I eventually became.
She had a lot of patience.
Yeah, so with your motherhood, you know, grandmotherhood is, all those are in alignment. And then, you know, with my mom being the baby of the family, my mom was spoiled. So it's like, you know, me, my mom, my grandma living together. My grandma cooked, she cleaned. You know, my mom was spoiled, so yeah.
But it's a blessing to get either one. It's a blessing to get a wholesome, well-rounded grandmother.
Yeah.
It's a blessing to get a wholesome,
because I learned later that everybody's grandma wasn't good. Because I thought, you know, when you're a kid, you only see what's in your world. So, you know, you think everybody's grandma is like your grandma. Yeah. And she was strict. You know, my grandma was strict. She was Jehovah's Witness. And she spoke her mind. She didn't hold back. And she didn't spank my ass. You know, I done got one of them. You remember when they get the switches off the cherry trees and cherry bushes? Yeah. So yeah, with my grandma being there, I feel like that helped me maintain a good balance. Because I think if I was raised by my mom solely, I don't know how I would have been. And then with the definition of fatherhood, I think that the father is supposed to be that rock, that support of the family, that head of the household, that guidance and that image for his sons to be able to follow after. You know, being that you have the right type of father.
See, but with me having a father and a mother in the household, both I think if it weren't for my grandmother and me living with my grandmother and my grandfather, I would have came out completely different because they didn't know how to. Out of all of my brothers and sisters, I was different. I had more energy. I was more I was more of a street kid than any of my brothers. I got into more stuff than they did. With
you having both of them in the family, I always believe, because I remember when me and Kel first linked up, we was talking about that. You know, I was like, "Damn, you got your mama and your daddy." And, you know, he was like, that might not always be a good thing. And I was like, well, my daddy wasn't in my life. So, you know, I feel like if you have that in your life, it's to me, it's like a better chance than not having nothing at all. Because it still gives you some scales to balance. This mom, this dad, like this. But if you just got mom there, then you know how the scale is, and you know dad to you know, weigh it out. And what I believe, I do know that everybody's mom is not good, everybody's dad is not good.
We know everybody's not
they
perfect.
Imperfect. Yeah, so I think that when you're raised by both of them, you get to take the things about them that you like and magnify them and let them become a part of you, and the things that you don't like, be like, nah, I'm not gonna do that, I'm not gonna be like that, you know. And that's why I think you get a, you know, a better chance when you have both parents. But some people's situations be more drastic, you know, as far as like physical abuse and just all kind of stuff. But my father was one of his favorite songs was Papa was Rolling Stone. That's from the Temptations.
I forgot who.
From the I believe that's from the Motown group, the Temptations. Papa was Rolling Stone. Wherever he laid his hat was his home, and that's how he lived his life.
And when he died, all he left us was alone.
I was the firstborn from him, and he never did anything for me my entire life. Like when me and him finally were able to bond is what y'all seen in the previous in our pilot show. When I'm 51 years old, and it's like my entire life he didn't do anything for me. When we finally bonded or tried to bond is when he needed me. You know, he's at the latter part in life, and he done been through a lot. Like his life been like you would not believe, like drugs, alcohol, whoremongering, multiple children from multiple women that he just was doing him.
And then he just showed up on you.
Excuse my language, but fucking everything in sight and just making these babies and leaving these women, you know, to be responsible for taking care of their daughters, their sons, or whoever, and just proceeding on with his life. That's the person he has been. That's the person that I know him as. And yeah, he's definitely not the definition of a good father to me. With him in my life, and he even said that once he was living with us, he was like, oh, it's probably good that your grandma did raise you because I'm wild. You know, not me, but he was saying he's wild, and I probably would have been, you know, a lot like him. And yeah, but he doesn't have any discipline, any structure. He just, and said, you know, I hate to say it, you know, it probably would have been better if me and him didn't try to bond, because whatever good memories or thoughts I may have had about him, that could have been there. Because it's like me trying to bond with this man, y'all, it's a lot. But in our pilot season of Freedom Stars, we talking about so much. That's when we had our third co-host. But yeah, that man living with us for 6 months, it was hell on wheels. The beginning was good, but as time progressed, he just started letting it all hang out. And he just turned into that straight up, you know what, like, yeah. And
you met his representative.
Yeah, that representative that they always talk about, it was there in the beginning, and then somewhere down the line, his representative wore off.
But then still,
and when his representative wore off, it was some shit.
He just showed up on you too.
Yeah, and then he popped up unannounced. Like, yeah, it wasn't even, this wasn't, you know, it wasn't planned for him now. And that's the same thing his sister told me he did to her. He's been so irresponsible in his life, five failed marriages. He doesn't know how many kids he got, and it's in multiple states. And he just started moving from house to home, you know, he'll stay somewhere long enough to mess up and just keep moving and moving. And when you grown like that, nobody really got time, you know, to be putting their life on hold for some grown ass, irresponsible, careless, carefree man. They got kids that you're supposed to be supporting and taking, I mean, showing examples, you know, and being a guidance for, and you out here, you know, acting crazy. And it's just, yeah, wow. But you having your dad in your life, I think that was, it gave you something to go off of. Because, like, if you say, you know, he was a gambler, if you say he was an alcoholic, then you can know, okay, well, I'm not going to do that. Because, you know, look where it got him. Look what happened to him. You know what I'm saying? And the things with my father, like, I really, it's not much from him at all that I feel like that I can take, you know, to benefit me from. Because it's just all kind of crap, y'all.
Yeah, I don't care.
It's all kind of crap.
I don't harbor or carry any resentment to him. Or I know he could have done better. And I know the things, when I got punished, I know the things that I did to get that punishment. But yeah, he might have went over the top with doing them, but that was his way of handling that situation. Mm-hmm. But I don't think most African American men with boys that get in a lot of stuff or happen to do anything outside of the norm, would just come into a room and just attack you.
Yeah, I don't think so. I think everything has a reason.
And
you know, except for every reaction, there's a reaction.
That's right.
You know?
And then if they do that to one child, they're going to do it to all. If they got more than one child in the house, they're going to do that to everybody else. They're not going to just single that one child out unless you got different fathers.
Yeah, and because some different fathers are different ways with different children. Speaking of different fathers, so like once my mom and my dad split up, you know, they went their own way or whatever. My grandma made sure that my mama did not marry him, and I'm so thankful for her making sure, because the women he married, I can't say I know them, but I know of one specifically, the one that we speaking about in pilot season, Teresa, drug addict. My mom probably would have been on drugs. My mom probably would have been an alcoholic. My mom probably would have been, you know what I'm saying, all kinds of things. So I'm happy that my grandma didn't let him marry her. But speaking on having like another father around, like my brother's father, my half brother from my mom, he played a significant role in my life of being a father as much as he could, because I would consider myself like the experimental child for him. You know, when him and my mom got together, he was there to fill in the blank for my father, but it still wasn't my biological father. But you know, he did what he can do, and it was ups and downs in their relationship, like a lot of relationships have. It was some dynamics, you know, and you know, not to go into too much detail about things, you know, but because you know, you learn later that the man is not always the wrong one. Sometimes it be the women as well. But like you said, all of us, we gravitate towards our mom or whoever we're around the most. So it's like, yeah, but he, in my eyes, he was a good man for everything that it was worth, you know. So that was like a feeling, but then he wasn't in the picture 100%, you know, because you have these relationships where people will be together and they'll go their own way, you know. So it was kind of like an on again, off again relationship with them, and yeah, that was, you know, but it's still not that father experience that, you know, your DNA. But yeah. So I think that father, like, the definition of fatherhood, I think is strength, power, focus, guidance, determination, just like a stone, like a rock. Like, and there's a lot of men that's not like that today. Because there's a lot of men, they let the women,
they would steal all these, the qualifications and things that you need to make it in the world. If not that, you will see by example of somewhat, because like my grandfather, like I said, he was a Mason, not just like a Masonic, like a Mason. He was actually a Mason. He built churches in New York, helped build churches in New York and big buildings in New York. Every time we used to drive by, like, I helped build that, you know, I did this, I did that, and I was a kid and trying to figure out what he was talking about. But I was just amazed by looking at the big buildings and see him pointing at them, saying that, you know, he helped build that hospital, that he helped build that church, you know, all these different things.
And that's something magical, because I don't have any type of grandfather really experience. Wow. I know that you remember meeting my father's father, but I didn't know him like that, you know. Yeah. And then my mother's father, I never met him a day in my life. So when you get to speak about granddaddy, like, I don't know what that feeling is. I
met my mom's dad once. I remember him walking to the store with me, had me on his shoulders, and I did the same thing with my little brothers. When I walked to the store with them, I'd take them, put them on my shoulders, and walk to the store with them on my shoulder, tell them stories and talking and whatnot. I thought I made some real good times with them.
I think that's cool when you have a granddaddy, because if your dad ain't that man, then your granddaddy could back him up. Just like if your mom ain't that female, your grandma could back her up. So yeah, I think that's cool.
And I was blessed to have two grandmothers.
Same thing with that. Only my mom.
Yeah.
I know of my dad's mother, and I remember seeing her when I was a child, but we had no relationship. So yeah. And I remember trying to reach out to her when how old was I? From teenager up to my 20s, I used to send letters to them, and I never got a response. Phone number, you know, include my phone number, include the return address, and they never responded to me. And one of my cousins on my dad's side, she said more than likely, it was an aunt of mine that was close to my grandma. She said more than likely that person was intercepting those letters. So when you hit fast forward, you know, me and my dad, you know, talking on the phone a lot, and he like, oh, mama's sick, you know, I want you to come and meet mom and this and that. And I'm not really like enthused about it. You know, I'm like, okay, all these years of my life, you know, now y'all at some bad points, and now y'all want to see me, y'all want to know me, you want to deal with me, and I didn't get to see her. You know, she passed away. And
that's bad when people get on their deathbeds.
Yeah.
And then they start recanting their lives, and then they want to start giving out all of these sorries. And
I don't know if she was gonna do that, and I don't know if she wanted to see me, but my dad wanted me to go and see her.
The thing I'm saying is, why does it take to you getting on your deathbed?
People don't be thinking.
Why that didn't come to you in your consciousness while you was healthy and raising hell and talking about people in the wrong way? And
like when the kids may have needed you the most, then that's when you should have been present in their lives.
You're needing their blessing, because you're feeling guilty. You're feeling bad. You don't want to leave this realm and go into the next realm without having that clarification that this person forgiving you for all the things that you've done or what you didn't do.
So your balance was closer to being that regular balance. You had your mom and your dad throughout your entire life. Then you had your dad's mom and your dad's dad together. And then you met your mom's mom and then your mom's dad. So you met all of them. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I got a bunch of blanks in different places. But yeah, but you know, it doesn't necessarily mean that hey, you're gonna turn out to be a horrible or awful person. It's all in the individual.
It's all in the individual. Life with those people.
Yeah, it's all in the individual.
It doesn't make you a bad person. Or make you a person of, you know, a lesser person than anybody else. You just got that blanks in your life.
Yeah, and it's like now
what you make out of yourself is the biggest thing.
Because some people come up with all of that, and they still turn out horrible.
Look how far you came in your life without those blanks. Yeah. You've helped so many people in your own life. Mm-hmm. You came across people and you helped people, even though some of them didn't deserve it. You still helped them. That shows the kindness that your grandmother instilled in you and your heart.
Yeah, and even though like what I would have to say, with my father not being present in my life and this and that, I know all of the trauma, anything that we went through, any voids or whatever, I feel like that could have been filled when he came here with us. But at the same time, I know that somewhere down the line we have to let it go. You know, it's gonna remain with us, but it can't be something that we keep. This is his fault because this is his fault because of that. We gotta let it go somewhere down the line.
But look at the people that had both their mother and fathers, their grandmothers and grandfathers, and they walk around blaming people for stuff, and they're
some grown people still have them today, and they not successful. So
and they're blaming people for stuff and not seeing the big picture with moving on with their life or trying to do something with their life other than blame people and be a victim all the time. They want to be a victim all the time. You didn't do this. You didn't do that. Okay, so you're 54 years old and you still
blaming. Yeah, somewhere down the line, I think we have to eventually. We gotta let it go. Yeah. We can talk about it. Then
what are you doing with your life?
No.
Not saying that. I mean, there's plenty of jobs. Even now, there's still plenty of jobs out here for grown men to find.
But you know, there's some men out there. They don't want to do anything. They just want to wake up and eat and watch TV.
Want to go to work when they want to go to work.
And sit down and chill. There's a lot of people that just want to just chill.
I've never heard a man say, I work when I want to work. Okay, so what responsibilities you have as a husband and a wife? Husband, you got a husband. You're supposed to be a husband and you have a wife and you have children, but you work when you want to work? You make that kind of money that you can work when you want to work?
Hey, I guess when you're a super baller or something like that, or a business owner. Yeah. But even when you're a business owner, you kind of can't work when you want to work. It's whatever the business calls for.
That is delusional for a grown man. And then on top of that, to make a podcast and put something out like that you work when you want to work.
Yeah.
And you got responsibility as a husband and a father.
Yeah. But life is wild. Yeah. And my goal when I deal with people, my goal is to, I try to learn what I can learn, because they say we meet people for a reason, a season, or a lifetime. So whoever I'm dealing with, it's like somewhere in the beginning, I feel like I could tell. Yeah, I was gonna say, I feel like I can tell if that person is gonna be around for a short time or for a long time. or like an in-between time. Like you got short, medium, and long. You know what I'm saying? It's like when I feel like they gonna be there for a short time, I try to hurry up and learn whatever the message is, because I feel like all of us cross paths for a reason. It's to help each other, or just it might be a certain statement or a phrase or a sentence that you might need to say to them that's gonna resonate in their head way after y'all not around each other anymore. So I try to learn, you know, what I'm gonna learn from that person. And for me, like, it's like now as I get older, I can kind of feel people that's gonna be around for a long time and people that's not. So it's like, yeah.
But most people like that, only thing it does, it shows me the cowardness of a person, and then it shows me that that's you know, the type of people not to let you know, slime their way into your life. Because that for a person to the way that kind of not manipulative, because they try to act so timid, like, you know, they want your sympathy for stuff. That's how that person did you with want you to feel sympathetic to him by let him get away with, you know, with $5 or $7 before he can make
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about.
So he can eat something, because, you know, nobody's going to deny somebody of food. So, you know,
but you know, a lot of that stuff,
they find a way. They learn you, so they can try to manipulate stuff around.
Because I'm gonna say a lot of that kind of stuff happens to me where people, you know, they can look in there and find that place, like, yeah, you know, because that happened with my dad.
He's got a big heart. Yeah, he's got a big heart. So let me try to but that shows that a weaker person.
Young people that's gonna be around for a short time. Yeah. So you got to learn what you need to learn from.
That person is trying to look on your better side of the better person you are, not them. That shows the lesser type of person they are. For them to try to, you know, try to do little bitch things like that to get the stuff out of you for nothing. Yeah, that's how they want to make it through life.
That's a grown man.
Yeah, that's how they're gonna make it through life. They want to, you know, try to get something up for nothing.
And you know, I done had females do me like that, because it's like.
But there's a difference between a male and a female.
When you get a female, yeah, but I think it's wrong on both parts.
It definitely is, so, but I can see a female doing that more than a man.
Yeah,
most men are pay for. Most men are down. They stand 10 toes down on paying for what they want. They are working hard for what they want. That's a true man.
Yeah, it's crazy.
We got these so-called, I don't even know what to call them, but they call themselves husbands. They want to be somebody's husbands, want to be somebody's father. They don't know how to be any one of them, because they don't have that in them to be. Because if you're gonna say that you was abused, and you're gonna turn around and abuse some other's child, somebody else's child, and that's not your child, and then go around other grown men and talk about it like it's supposed to be funny.
It's crazy. Yeah. And yeah, you know, when my dad came around, I knew he was gonna be around. After a certain amount of time, I knew he was gonna be around for a short time. When he started letting it all hang out, I'm gonna say probably on month 3. That's when his representative.
You kept first.
His representative went away in the 3rd month. I said he's not gonna be around.
You went from a year to months.
Yeah.
And then from months to weeks.
Yeah.
Then for some nights. Then for some nights to days.
It's like when you get older, you learn how to read spirits better. Some people, you know, have discernment good. Some people don't.
Never once.
Nina never got comfortable around
never
my
let
dad.
up. Yeah. She want to play. She want to play with anybody.
Every time Al come around, Nina, and they say dogs read spirits. And I told him that, I say, the reason she barking at you like that is because she see darkness in you. You know what I'm saying? And from the day he moved with us to the day he left, the very last day we sent, she still was talking shit. Yeah. So I love dogs for that, because they read spirits
And Lola was going, and Lola loved it.
But she loved it.
Both of them was, but they did not want them coming in the house.
So it's good, y'all, to have dogs in y'all life, because if y'all welcome somebody into y'all place of residence, into your place of employment, and just into your
surroundings,
energy field, your dog is gonna let you know what type of person they are. You know, dogs keep it real.
Yeah.
Dogs ain't around here faking and shit.
No, if dogs don't ever let up on barking at a certain person, and they're doing it for a reason.
And cats pretty much be like, yeah, cats are different from dogs, but them dogs is there with you, like, them dogs is with you.
And they didn't like it, the third person either.
Yeah. I like dogs, man. Dogs are cool.
Yeah.
Power to the dog people like that. Y'all know what I'm talking about.
Like, share, subscribe, and comment.
Yes, indeed.
Thanks for all the cash apps, and thanks for all the donations. We appreciate you and love you.
Yeah. And we trying to get to that 2,000 subscribers.
And help us break that past that 2,000.
We want to just go like a freight liner.
Yeah,
and
let's call right on through the 2,000s.
One of the new subscribers that we have, what was his name? I'm not remembering his name at the moment. But it's an Anglo. And y'all know we say Anglo is short for Anglo-Saxon because we're trying to refrain from calling each other black and white.
That's right.
That's what keeps that racism going.
Yeah, and that separation.
But it was an Anglo from Vegas. He went on our page. He left some good comments too, and he was like, what? Like you guys are only at 1.8 something K. He said y'all should. Looking at the contents on our channel, he said we should already have over 100,000 subscribers. He say next year. Yeah, he said next year, and he know who I'm talking about. I'm not remembering your name right now, but the Las Vegas dude, either Las Vegas or Colorado. Let me see. I'm gonna say Las Vegas.
You said Las Vegas
because he said he's not far from Death Valley, so you really know what I'm talking about.
And that's close to our spot.
Yeah, so he said next year we're gonna be at 100,000, over 100,000. So I claim that. I accept that. I speak that into existence, man. Yeah. And we're gonna keep getting better with time. You know, I get goofy. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. But yeah. And then the other thing I want to say about motherhood and fatherhood, I think what can make a father a good father is if he's a good man and he's the head of the household. But if you got a man that's out there just having kids from any and every woman, then he's making it impossible for him to be that person when he didn't went and just did a bunch of bullshit. That, you know, all these kids that you're making that you can't afford. But for those solid men that, like, say, we live in an American culture where it's one husband to one wife. This, you know, Africa may be different, but even in Africa, those men that have those multiple wives, they have their village.
They're supposed to, you know what I'm saying? Be able to afford the wives.
And I think that's how American culture should be too. If you out here having a bunch of kids, that's what child support is. You know, when they put child support on you for this kid, that kid, that kid. Because it's not always the woman's fault why the relationship didn't work. It's not always the man's fault. But if you create a kid and you in a good relationship with your kid's mother, I think that man needs to be ahead. Because what I'm seeing now is that it's a lot of relationships where the man is with the woman, but the woman is more like the man, and the man is more like the woman. And I think that's a bad example for a son to follow, and that's a bad example for a daughter to follow. Because if the daughter see that her mom is that
ruling
that,
over the
I almost said the N-word. If she see her mom is that, you know what I'm saying?
Ruling over the father.
Yeah, then that's how that girl, once she get out into the dating field, and she gonna meet men that she can dominate. And I'm not to each his own, if that's what, you know, floats your boat, but in my experience of my line of work from doing hair all my life, when I see or hear relationships like that, they usually don't last, because somewhere down the line, the woman start doing too much, and then somewhere down the line, the men get tired. So they eventually, relationships where I've seen where the female has dominated and the man was the submissive one, somewhere down the line, it messes up. That's just what I've seen. And I just think, for that dad to be good at what he do, he needs to be the head of the house, the head of everything, which means he got to be on point. And for that mom to be that good mother, she needs to be more submissive, and let the dad do, do what he do. Yeah. But it's not like that these days. And it's like these women now, it's hard for me to deal with a lot of these modern women. Like, it's them old school women from back in the day. I don't see them around as much. It's this new element that I can't really connect with.
It was shocking to me sometimes. I see some young, beautiful young ladies with no makeup on, no eyelashes, and they just look natural, and this little afros and the hair, either braids or locks. and I'll be just checking away.
I see that seldomly
Yeah,
nowadays because I'm sitting now with the heavy like they paint their face like Sherwin Williams and Dutch Boy.
When I see them, I try my best to tell them how beautiful they look, and continue on that path you're doing. You're a beautiful young lady, no makeup, no, you know, your natural hair. I really like that. That's nice. Now I'll try.
And I think it takes a strong mind. A female has to have a strong mind to wear her natural hair. You know, no makeup.
No makeup, no eyelashes.
Yeah, it takes a strong female because when you think about it, if she has children, she's setting examples for her daughter on how to be. Mm-hmm. So if you get a little girl seeing her mom natural, you know, in her ethnicity, she's gonna take after that. But if you get a little girl that see her mom, oh, all this heavy makeup and the lipstick and the lashes and the fake straight hair, that girl more than likely she's gonna follow that path. Like, yeah, she's gonna follow that path. So I think being a mother, the definition of motherhood is really serious because I think kids spend more time. The average child from our race, or average kids I know coming up, they spend more time with their mother than their father. Mm-hmm. So mothers play an important part in shaping those children, you know, to be how they're supposed to be.
But the sad thing is, I've heard more women say, "So my having children, I'm just gonna put him on child support." Then I've heard women say, I'm having a child, we getting married, and
they want to work it out.
Yeah, they're planning a life together and stuff like that. I don't know how many times I've actually heard that, other than a friend of ours. They're got 2 beautiful sons, and they're together almost all the time. And she does hair. Mm-hmm. He started off in a business at one of the hardest spots, and now he's in an office somewhere. But yeah, you know what I'm talking about. And that's rare to see a situation like that.
But yeah, average situations that I see, it be.
But
I think some females do that.
The thing about it is, it's not American. She's not an Afro-American woman.
And that's why I hate to say it, but I think that's why it works.
That's why it worked that way.
Yeah, because I think if it was I'm gonna just say it, the women of the African American Native, and when we say African American Native or Afro-American Native, is a combination of African American, where we're born, America, and then Native, which is the people, the indigenous people that was here before all of this happened. So most of us are mixed with all 3 of those. Mm-hmm. But most of the Afro-American Native women, a lot of people say that they're hard to deal with.
Especially his age group.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then the type of person he's a solid young man. And if he would have been with a African American Native female his age on it, it wouldn't have worked out like that.
A lot of them, they break the men down. Yeah, I see a lot of it.
He's too laid back. He's too nice.
And the other friend of ours that's with an Asian woman.
And that's the older one.
Yeah.
So we got a younger person and an older person, and they're doing beautiful with it.
They've been together for over 20 years. So yeah. And I can't, to this day, I can't really tell you, just thinking off the top of my head, of an Afro-American Native man and woman that are together today, have been together since. I can't think of no long-term relationships off the top of my head.
And the ones that I can think of, I can tell you all the problems I've heard in their situations.
And they still together?
They're probably still together, but it's been turmoil. I feel. There's been turmoil, and it's been on the wing of prayer.
Yeah. It's wild. Yeah.
I can't say just straight up a beautiful relationship that we know couples that's been together. I know everybody's gonna have problems, but not like
there's no such thing as a perfect relationship. But yeah, the way things are today, I think it's gonna be hard for there to be a relationship, because it's like the women that I'm seeing, like when we went to the post office that day, we went to this post office, y'all, and I'm gonna just say it because it is what it is. The whole staff was Afro-American Native women. One of the females is on her phone. We're next in line, and she on her phone with her dude, and she's reading him, going off on him from the Rudy to the Tootie, and just hard, like, yeah. So we get up to the counter, and I realized what she was doing. Mm-hmm. He was still on the phone, and she was letting him hear her interact with men, and she was like, oh, I like y'all grill, y'all this and that, y'all gold teeth and this and that. So she was like,
After this, she said she want to get some.
Yeah.
I said, oh, you gotta go to Miami for this, and when y'all going to Miami? So it was just a lot that was said, and she was talking about doing a road trip.
A road trip with y'all.
Yeah, so it's like, to me, for her to have her dude on the phone listening to that was disrespectful.
Because she was making it sound like she knew us.
Like she knew us.
And she was gonna ride with us.
Yeah, and I thought that was disrespectful. And for the most part, you know, when I go to that post office, I try to have fun with them because I'm in their house, you know. And, you know, I ain't trying to go in there and dictate and, you know, just I'm getting my service and leaving. But, yeah, I just see different things like that when it come to women of our race. Like, they just... And then when you look at the Anglo women, because we dealt with a lot of Anglo women and everything. I'm not saying Anglo women are perfect, but the relationships that I've seen with Anglo women compared to African American Native women is very different. Like, they're more submissive to their dudes. When they deal with us, we on the West Coast, we had so many Anglo women that we were friends with, and I being here is different. It's different. It's different. It is very different. And it seems like the Anglo women want the kids' fathers in their lives.
Yeah, like regardless of how their situation is, they still want them in their life with their sons and their daughters.
But what I see with our race is like them women just give me child support and wherever he at, you know, whatever. Yeah, it's just crazy. So that definition of motherhood and fatherhood, I think the true meaning of it, for it to withstand the test of time and to be a benefit to the children, I think that people got to hit stop. All this craziness that's going on today, it got to stop. Like with all of the unnecessary hair and makeup and lashes, then the dudes being simps and submissive, you know, this is me speaking to the straight people in the world, because our topics, as time going, we're going to talk about everything. You know what I'm saying? We're going to get on gay topics, tranny topics, bisexual topics, all kind of topics, but this is what we talking about right now. Closet topics, yeah. But this is what we talking about right now, because I think what most of the world see when you leave your door or when you turn on your TV, the majority of what we see is heterosexual relationships and activity. So that's just what we talking about right now. But yeah, for things to get better with motherhood and fatherhood, I think that the dynamics of what's going on, it has to stop. It has to stop. Yeah.
The only episode, only thing I've ever seen differently with an Anglo husband and wife having problems with children was that movie Kramer versus Kramer. That was the first time. It was Dennis Hoffman and Meryl Streep. They were husband and wife.
They were fighting over the kids.
They had a child, and they was going through separation, and they was going to trying to get custody over the son.
Okay, I'm gonna have to look that up. Kramer versus Kramer.
That was a good movie. That was the very first movie that ever made me cry.
Mm-hmm.
Other than, I take that back. Old Yeller was the first one.
I don't even know if I've seen. Oh, that's a dog though, right?
Yeah.
I remember the
Yeller
name.
was the first one.
Yeah.
And then that was the second one.
Okay.
I take that 3.
What?
It was it Cornbread, Earl and Me. That was
Lawrence Fishburne. I remember Cornbread, Earl and Me. Yeah.
Lawrence Fishburne made me cry from when his brother got killed playing basketball, running down the street with a basketball, and the cop said he thought it was a gun. Yeah, it was crazy. Yeah. There was 3 movies because they thought, other than that, everybody thought I was made out of steel and stone. I didn't, show any emotion as a child.
Movies got a tendency to make everybody cry.
That movie made him cry. I said, yeah, that was touching.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think a movie. And, I think it depends on how deeply engaged you are with the movie. Because, some people can look at it and then some people can, really look at it and be there. So, I think it's how deeply engaged you are in the movie. Yeah. But what's up, y'all? How y'all doing out there on this is Saturday?
Friday.
What's the day?
Still Friday.
Oh, the day is Friday.
Still Friday, yeah.
Yo, we got to start time stamping our videos. Today is October 24th.
I ain't got my phone on that.
Let me see.
Recording.
Today is October 24th, Friday. So, yeah, we're going to start time stamping these videos, too, so we can know what's what.
I thought that's what you were doing when you put them down on.
Yeah, and so when I say that, I'm saying like to verbally say it
Okay.
as well. But
Yeah.
yeah, as far as like, yeah, we'll know when it was posted.
Yeah.
Those are seeds.
Yeah, I was a big movie kid coming up, and I had all my little brothers. Every time a movie came on, there was the first thing I did was take them to the movies every Friday. It was something I did with them. So from the time they was small till they was in their teens, and they still loved it when they 18 to 19 years old.
It used to be fun going to the movies back in the day, like with your cousins and stuff like that.
The stop movies for me was that creep from the Batman.
The one that shot the place up? I remember
After that, I did not think about going to another movie theater.
I'm trying to think of the last movie theater we went to.
That was in San Diego.
No, because we went after that. We went.
That's when we went back. The first we went to San Diego. We went to that movie theater. And we went to those pictures with those giant chess pieces.
I remember that. I remember that.
And then the next movie we went to see, we went to see Mel Gibson movie, Fighting Temptation or Last Temptation. Was it The Last Temptation of Christ?
Oh,
Was it The Last Temptation?
No, wow. I know what you're talking about. That movie had a lot of controversy.
Yeah.
The Passion.
Oh, The Passion.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah. And we went to see This Is It, that Michael Jackson movie.
Oh yeah, we didn't see all of it though.
Why not?
We walked out of it. It was something going on with Thriller or something. We saw something we didn't like.
For real.
Not knocking Michael Jackson. We're a big fan of Michael Jackson, but it was it was like a symbol thing we saw.
Oh yeah, but during that time where he's talking about when Michael Jackson This Is It came out, it was the tightest scene, y'all, because in Buckhead, can't remember the name of what the theater was, but they got these theaters in Buckhead where they had This Is It was like in 7 different auditoriums, and when you go in there, they have a table. And then you got chairs with wheels on them. Instead of sitting on them connected chairs, you sitting in like this lounge chair with wheels, and you get to order your food, wine. So yeah, but what Kev is talking about during that time, our eyes and our minds had started beginning to open towards acknowledging symbolism. And right now we kind of pros at, being able to spot a lot of things, and we ride with it, It's just stuff that was hidden in plain sight. So looking at that, we started seeing a lot of stuff that was hidden in plain sight that we felt, was what it was, and we wound up not seeing the whole movie. But right now it's almost as if you in a room with a pink elephant or a baboon, and it's there. It's there, but you're not picking and probing at it. You just letting it be, and you're just being. But unless that baboon act up on you. I'm being crazy, y'all. But now it's like living and let live, pretty much is what I'm saying. But yeah, we on a better note, because it was this one point where when we started getting affiliated with YouTube more and learning more, it was just this whole big plethora of all these different videos of people saying, they brainwashing you, they hypnotizing you. Look at everybody's music videos, and we were seeing stuff everywhere, and I think that's how life is.
Yeah, this hand gesture.
Yeah.
The way they touch their arm, the way they do this, the way they do that, the way everything is, the format of how people stand.
It was so much. So we looking at This Is It like, bam, we pointing stuff out. But where I'm at now with that mentally is this world is filled with everything, and it's like, I guess it's up to us to navigate through this, and
and it's good magic and it's dark magic.
Everything has a good and bad to it,
It's good magic and it's dark magic.
And I just let it be what it is.
Our people, our ancestors participated in magic because they didn't know anything else, and that also helped them with our doctors were voodoo doctors. Mm-hmm. Juju was a bad one. Voodoo was a good one.
Yeah, because when we had the word voodoo, we're gonna have a whole topic on religion.
That's a brainwash that America did to people with that.
So I learned that.
But our doctors was the first doctors that treated all kind of different things, and it was herbs and plants. So yeah, there's good magic and there's bad magic.
That's crazy. Yeah. But yeah, I'm a big Michael Jackson fan. And I guess being in the industry, I think a lot of that stuff that takes place, like say for instance, if you shooting, you about to be in a music video that they shooting, I don't think you dictate everything that's in the set.
Yeah, because the label is paying
people,
for you.
Yeah, they put that together. Your job is to show up.
That's right. So practice and perform.
Yeah. So I don't blame artists for everything that takes place, you know. And then it is what it is.
It's the contracts that they're in.
Yeah.
They're in these binding contracts.
Yeah.
And that's what's good about being an independent artist.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, if y'all see us doing anything of flashing symbols, y'all gonna know we chose to do that. But yeah, no, but getting back on the parenthood thing, yeah, that was pretty much my definition. Like, yeah, my father, I don't think he's a person that I would choose to be like, my mom, she wasn't perfect, but my mom had a lot of good ways about her. My mom had a good heart, you know what I'm saying? There's a lot of her that is in me.
My dad had a strong work ethic.
Yeah.
He was a good protector.
And see, my dad, as far as work ethic, with what I've learned and what I know about him, he was a hustler, a scammer, and a con artist. That's what...
He was a good fisherman.
Yeah, that was a part of his hustle. Mm-hmm. That was a hustle. But it was other little maneuvers and ins and outs where, other maneuvers and ins and outs where I seen scammer and con artists. So, and I'm just calling it for what it is. But yeah, that fishing was his hustle.
I've never heard of an Afro-American indigenous person catching alligators.
Yeah, that's crazy.
But they had him as a poacher.
Yeah. You got it, y'all. Y'all, it's a lot of craziness. But with my mom, like how I said, I got her ways, and Kev got his mom ways too, because throughout us being linked, we didn't help a lot of people. And we had to think about it because, like, even with my father having been with us for 6 months, and then after he left, we tried to help another person, and they only lasted for 9 days.
But they were on the phone with us doing one of our podcasts.
Yeah. And that person know who they are. But after my father left, a good friend of ours from over 20 years ago was telling us a situation about his son. And he basically, I've been knowing him for over 20 years. So
I've been knowing him for over 20 years as well.
It was a situation where how I was saying I don't think the mom need to be in control, but whatever the case was, that mom ended up in control and raising that boy to become a man, and now that he's a man, it's a long story with that.
Too much female qualities.
Yeah, and then battling with alcoholism, so we was hearing a bunch of crazy stories from a friend of ours, and we were like, well, dang, my dad gone, we got an extra room, and this person was in Memphis living on the streets. So, once we finally got to talk to them and they broke down crying on the phone and everything, they wasn't eating. It was just a long, sad story. The person that just got killed where he was talking to us. Yeah, somebody had just died that previous day. The night before, yeah. Where he was like sleeping and chilling being homeless on the streets. And through his father's energy, who we've been knowing for over 20 years, we was like, okay, well, I ran down the list. I'm like, well, do you consider yourself a drug addict or alcoholic? Because it's always a problem, you know what I'm saying? Because people that's handling their business, them people usually don't need no help like that. Everybody need help, don't get me wrong, but throughout me and Kev time of being linked up and helping people, I had to look at it, because when you look at all of the failed attempts, it's not that it's something wrong with you for trying to help or you having too many rules in your household or whatever. You got to look at everybody, and I'm like, damn, Kev. All the people we tried to help, they were either alcoholics or drug addicts. That's why it happened the way it happened. Is
you have some alcoholics that's functional.
Yeah,
they have steady jobs. They drink heavy.
And I give them their props for still being able to function. But we have been helping a bunch of alcoholics and drug addicts, and it never dawned on me until these recent days. But what happened with the most recent case? we on the phone with him, he broke down crying and this and that. So we paid for him a Greyhound ticket. I sent him the link, you know, so he can pull the ticket up on his phone, which gave him like 3 days to still be in Memphis. So during those days, we cashed out him money so he can eat, you know. Then once he finally got here, we talked multiple times throughout the day, and sometimes we'll be on the phone for hours, you know, just talking. And I thought that it was weird for a person to be living in a specific city where your mom also lives, but you're homeless and your mom lives there.
And his uncle.
Yep. So that, excuse me, y'all. So that like sent out some flags. And I'm like, if your mom live in the same city that you live and you're homeless, that means your mama then went through some shit with you, like something that happened that, you know, cause moms care for their kids, you know. But yeah, make a long story short, you know, once that Greyhound time came, the bus brought him here to Atlanta, and we went and picked him up, and, you know, everything was what it was. It was a homeless person, you know, in his early 30s, which is young enough to be both of our sons, and, you know.
And there's another guy that had a podcast that was talk about, what do you call
Hobosexuals.
Homosexual.
Yeah, we'll talk about that. We learned that from another podcast.
Yeah.
So,
I think that's what he is, because he's on his phone the entire time, day and night.
And what a homosexual is, what Kev talking about, is basically during these seasons when fall, and I ain't gonna call it fall, but autumn, I gotta stop using that word, because what's fall? When autumn and winter comes, you get these people that try to link up with people to make it through the cold season, and they willing to, whatever you need, you know what I'm saying, that's what's called, they hobos and sexual. So it's usually like a form of prostitution. And it's not only men, it's women as well. And they're only a gay thing or a straight thing, it's an everybody thing. So yeah, you might have a female that's a homosexual with another female, or you might have a female that's a homosexual with a man, or a guy that's homosexual with another guy, or a guy that's a homosexual with a female. Meaning whoever...
opportunists.
Yeah, they're opportunists. And whoever they live with, those people are getting satisfied on some level or another. But yeah, once we picked them up from Greyhound, you know, it was a homeless person, you know, so they get in our vehicle, and I'm like, okay, everything was just needing to be
roll the
spiffed
windows
up.
down.
Yeah, it's the smell, the image, the whole 9 yards. So they got here, and we had plans and we had strategies, you know, and everything was going good until that 9th day. On that 9th day, that's when they had an interview at the Waffle House.
Not only that, they want to get the plasma.
Yeah, that came later.
Okay.
So on the 9th day, they had that interview at the Waffle House. So we came up with the time, got there. I'm sitting in the parking lot. I guess the interview went well. So after the interview was over, they wanted to go to this other place, which I thought was another interview, but it was actually a place to give plasma, blood plasma. So we get to this sketchy place on the west side of Atlanta, and everybody know the Southwest, the SWATs. The SWATs. So we get to the SWATs, and this building is like lined up with cars. Like, it's like, I don't know, it felt like it was over 100 cars, parking lot just packed. And I'm like, damn, this place is jumping. Yeah, so I'm like, since it was far away from where we had came from, I'm like, I'm gonna sit in the parking lot and wait. I sat in the parking lot, 1 hour passed, 2 hours passed, and within that time of the time passing, I'm looking at the people that's going into the building and the people that's coming out of the building. What my eyes seen was, I'm gonna say what my eyes seen was drug addicts and prostitutes.
Wow.
So I seen rough
people getting blood from.
I seen rough people. And I'm not saying that's everybody that went there, but that's what my eyes have seen. And I came up in the hood, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, so that's something to think about too. If you got a bunch of drug addicts, street people, or prostitutes giving plasma.
That's what they said. They said about a lot of blood banks. Be careful where you get blood from.
That, you know, it makes you think.
Yeah.
But wow. So yeah, so I'm sitting in the parking lot, and before you know it, a bunch of sketchy people start assembling in groups, and next thing you know, this group standing by my truck, and I'm like, okay, it's starting to feel uncomfortable, and over 2 hours then pass. So I start the vehicle up, and I'm like, okay, I go drive to the nearest QT gas station, fill up on gas, and I sent him a text. to let him know, look, it's not getting crazy in the parking lot. I wasn't feeling comfortable. When you ready, I'm at QT. Call me. I'll ride from QT and come pick you up. So while I'm at QT, you know, I'm cleaning the vehicle up. I'm getting trash. You know, just occupying my time. I'm on YouTube, just different things. And time went by, and he texted me, and he said he think it was going to be probably like another 45 minutes to an hour or something. I'm like, okay, that's enough time for me to go home and chill. So I said, well, I'm going to just head home, and when you're ready, you know, just let me know, and I'll be there. This is where things took a turn. He told me, giving Plasma, that, you know, he was going to, they'll pay him $100, which, you know, is a lot of money, but it's not a lot of money. So I'm at home waiting to hear from him, so, you know, I can get back in the vehicle and head there and get him. So he sends me a text. Oh, I already left. He's on the bus. He'll call me when he's nearer, this and that, blah, blah, blah. So by this time, me and Kev on the phone, because I sent him a text back. I'm like, but we're supposed to go to the grocery store. And I'm like, so, you know, it got really weird. So you was like, just call him instead of texting him. Because some people say they ain't get your text or whatever. So I called him, and the energy was off. He was saying that he was on the train. Then he said he was on the bus. Then he was saying he'll talk to me after he get out and leave this restaurant. But I could hear the train, you know, the intercom, that, you know, the next station or whatever. So it got kind of weird during that point. And that day it went from whatever time we was on the phone. Kev had to made it home from work. And yeah, 6 o'clock rolled around.
I said, if I bring him home, he's not coming back in this house.
7 o'clock rolled around, 8 o'clock rolled around. I said, well, 9 o'clock, I'm finna send him a text message because this is disrespectful, it's rude that you came here and you basically used us. You know what I'm saying? A person living with you, all of your bills go up because if you think about that person taking showers, that's more water being used. That person, we gave a bedroom to the TV and all that, there's more power being used. You know, when they nickel and diming you for $2, $3, all that stuff adds up. So it's like, I sent them a text message, and I was just speaking my mind.
Clothes, because he
and bought clothes, shoes, 2 pairs of shoes, and
broken down pair of shoes he had on, and dirty clothes and undergarments.
Yeah, it just was a bunch of nastiness. But make a long story short, I sent them that text message, and I didn't get a response. So the following day, that's when they called, and I'm like, you know what I'm saying? I was at a loss for words, and I'm like, well, what happened? And they had this story about how they went downtown and this and that and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, you're in downtown Atlanta? You don't have a job. You just got here. You're trying to get established. You're trying to stay clean from alcohol because he told me as long as he's not in that atmosphere that he won't do it, which means he lied. So I say, do you remember I told you, I said this to him, do you remember I told you that me and Kev have been in other situations where we have dealt with alcoholics? And he was like, yeah. I said, well, right now I can hear in how you're talking, I can hear it in your voice, I can hear everything, I hear alcohol. Have you been drinking? And he was like, yeah. I was like, okay, the deal is off. You know what I'm saying? And it's sad that it happened that way. Because everything I said to him on the phone, he just cut me off and just got turned to another person. But he hears this all the time. And I was saying things that people that care about you, I'm sure his mom has said this, his father has said this, his aunts have said this, his uncles, everybody. I said, well, is it a coincidence that I'm saying what all of your family said? Is there something wrong with all of us and you're perfect? And he was talking all of this crazy talking. I'm like, man, you're 32 years old. What you're saying, I have already heard that from people that are now failures in life, and that's where you're headed towards. But yeah, it's just, So getting back to that whole point of getting off of that, me and Kev from our moms, we got this thing to where we open our doors to help people. We got some stories that were successful, but there's more unsuccessful stories than successful stories. It's more people that done been by their shit, you know what I'm saying, than people that done been by their business. But it's crazy. But wherever he is at, you know, I hope that he's well. But all it took was for him to go give Plasma and get $100 to
go back to
fall back into that same lifestyle that he was living in Memphis. And I've never lived in Memphis, but I have a feeling that Atlanta is more dangerous than Memphis.
It is.
They say Memphis off the chain.
It is, but Atlanta is.
But Atlanta is a whole nother ball game. And that's where homosexuality falls in line, because if you willing to risk your life and your health and your safety to have somewhere to stay, because like right now, we don't know where he is or what he's doing. And his father, he avoids him. Like, so yeah, it's crazy.
Because you know what he's going to hear.
Yeah,
his dad gonna say the same
his
thing.
dad gonna, yeah.
And how disappointed he is in him.
Yeah, and in my opinion and what I know of his dad, I know his dad, from what I see, he's a good man. Whatever happened with his mother and his dad not lasting as a couple, I don't know all the ins and outs of that. But his dad is now with, his current wife. And they've been together now, like I said, since over 20 years now, going strong. And yeah, it's crazy, man. It's just crazy.
But that still shouldn't stop you from being that type of person, because everybody's not perfect, and we know that. And some people needs help, and some people needs help.
I got a lot
more
of
than
stick on that.
Some people need more help than others.
Yeah.
But you can't let that trying to help that person bring you down.
Yeah.
You can't try to help somebody that don't want to help themselves.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
So
I think we learned that.
You gotta know when to just let go.
We learned that with time. Yeah, and letting go might seem kind of cold, but I think we got to consider ourselves
first. That's tough love. That's what tough love comes from.
Because like with my father, when I realized I had to let that go was when he started telling me, like he got online meeting women, like he did at his sister's house, excuse me, and he just gives your address out freely. And he tell his sister, if somebody knock at the door, it's for him. Yeah. I'm like, wait.
It's not happening here.
Yeah, but he told me somebody was on the way to come see him. I'm like, wait. I'm like, no. Yeah, I got
had to be that woman that met him at the corner up here.
Ain't no telling.
I'm sure that was.
But
he got out of here and walked to meet her so she wouldn't come to the house.
That was just dangerous. Yeah, and I can see him telling her, my son, don't want nobody coming to his house. Yeah, why would you invite, if somebody's helping you, you living in their house, what nerve do you have to welcome people from the internet to a house where somebody's helping you?
How stupid is that, though, for an adult person in 2025 to give their address out to a complete stranger that they met online?
That's a recipe for disaster.
That could be a man that you sending all that texting to.
It could be a man, it could be a murderer, a serial killer.
Yeah.
That's just crazy. That's really crazy. And to each his own. If people out there doing that and they ain't got killed or whatever.
But you hear it all the time.
Yeah.
How many murders you done heard about situations like that?
Yeah. But my thing is, if somebody's letting you live with them, where do you get the nerve from to give their address out? Because technically you don't have nowhere to live because they're helping you with shelter. So that's just to me, that's a stupid person. That's a dumb person. That's a careless person. That's a disrespectful person to give somebody address out.
They don't care about their safety or yours.
They don't care, That's crazy. And if you don't care about your safety, you go somewhere else and be unsafe. You know what I'm saying? That's
blatantly showing you that they don't care about their safety and yours.
That is crazy.
And for what?
But yeah, that's when I realized it's just little things he was doing. It made me know that I had to I started letting go. I had to start letting go. And then I'm like, whatever's going to trickle down to is going to be that. But yeah, it was just crazy. And there's some people out there got excellent fathers, you know what I'm saying? But the way I've grown up seeing men, it's been in a bad light. And that's why when we had our co-host that was trying to make it seem like a bad thing for us to say that we were about male empowerment, he tried to make it like a bad thing.
And afterwards, before it, he was all
before that, he said he was with it 200% because
gun-ho with it.
If you are a male and you're struggling and you're going through something in today's society, why would you not want to have a refuge? Why would you not want to have a safe haven?
Did you hear
where you can rebuild yourself?
He wanted to start a boys group and stuff with us.
Yeah.
All that. It included himself with anything that we talked about.
Whether people know it or not, boys group, that's a form of male empowerment. The Boy Scouts is a form, and the Girl Scouts is a form of female empowerment. Boy Scouts is a form of male empowerment. So he made it seem like a bad thing.
The day you told him that he went too far. He overstretched his bound. He stepped past his boundaries with the podcast.
Yeah.
Going to a Zoom meeting?
Yeah, it's just
with our podcast.
But yeah, it's crazy.
That's what the first thing that got me was him. When I brought to your attention, him kept saying my podcast. Like okay, he said it once, then he said it twice. I was okay. And then he's trying to say it while we were on the podcast, talking about the woman that he was defending me. I was defending you.
But yeah, that whole male empowerment thing, like, yeah, I stand on that 10 toes, like they say. But yeah, it is what it is, you know.
Because it's been going on for over 20 years. How men has been past 20 years. How men's getting the rough end of everything.
And then, yeah, for me, I think it's because, you know, there's some gay fathers out there. There's men that have kids that are gay.
Single.
Yeah, so it's just like, on the term of male empowerment, it's not just for like straight men or gay men. It's for every type of man. And women are welcomed as well to be viewers and subscribers of the channel, because I think when you get females that get to see things from a guy's point of view, they understand men better and they know how to move, how to navigate. And the vice versa, like say, because we look at some female empowerment podcasters. Yeah, and then you get to see what a female's version of it. It gives you a different perspective. So it's nothing wrong with that. You get what I'm saying? Because you got some podcasts out there that are about black empowerment and some about white empowerment. I'm using them words because that's what they would describe them as. But yeah, it's just every station, every podcast, I believe, has some type of empowerment, some type of enlightenment. You know what I'm saying? Some type of spiritual benefit. So yeah, it's just yeah, it's crazy. But yeah, that's what we doing, y'all, over here.
Like, share, subscribe, and comment.
True. Yeah. And thanks for everybody that's been tuning in.
Thanks to all our subscribers, and please continue subscribing. Help us get past our 20,000.
Yeah, this been a long day, y'all. So y'all gonna see us after we done ran a lot of errands. We still come in tune. You know, we have to get in tune with our podcast, and this been a long day. You know, we doing the other one tomorrow.
We had over 90,000 views.
Oh yeah, our channel is getting up there. It's over 98,000 views. So almost at 100,000. Yeah, they say count your blessings. So yeah, we finna fly with this, y'all. Let's see, and we gonna get bigger and better, and we gonna have guests. And if there's anybody, so next year, 2026, we gonna start doing live, and there's some people that's already lined up that we supposed to do what Zoom, do they call it?
Zoom.
Yeah, we supposed to do the little Zoom. And I got a lot to learn how you have the split screens with the person on. So yeah, we got people that
interviews, some people on the interviews
that are lined up for interviews, and yeah, we getting better with this, and by that time we'll been and learned about how to do all of that other kind of stuff, because right now it's like, you know, sticks and rocks. It's basic right now. Yeah.
So stay strong, stay safe.
Yeah. Yeah, I got Halloween coming, so those of you that celebrate Halloween, be careful out there.
Children, look out for your children. Be careful with how this candy is. I strongly, I know everybody's different. I strongly against a lot of candy with kids because of the diabetes and other things with candy.
That's something people never think about. The bad health that comes from all of that.
Mm-hmm. That's kind of like stars. Like
that's something people never. And I know Halloween is just one day out of the year,
big
but
bags, like 15 pounds of candy.
That's something people never think about.
3-4 nights, or if not 2 months, that candy be gone.
Mm-hmm. All of that junk food and that unhealthy stuff, that don't just fall away from them kids. That's a part of the programming, because that's what they want. Like they be like, oh, I done heard people say their kids ate all their candy in 2 days.
Doing it like. She didn't mind the dress up part, but the candy, she was all against it.
Yeah.
And she was talking about back then before they stopped people getting fruit, because you used to get fruit back in the days.
I used to hear about razor blades and worms.
Yeah,
I used to hear all kind of
well, the people they don't know that a worm is in the apple, but people put razor blades in the apple, so it's a big difference. But yeah, they used to get apples.
And that's amazing, because whoever do that means they don't like children.
They don't like people, period. We make candy apples.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, people make homemade candy apples and caramel apples and chocolate apples.
That is dangerous.
It used to be chocolate covered strawberries. It was just so many of them, so much fruit back in the days, but until somebody got that apple with a razor blade in it, and that stopped everybody from getting apples.
If I was a parent, I wouldn't. First of all, my kids wouldn't participate in Halloween, but if I did with them dressing up, they wouldn't be out in the world.
It would be a dress up. I would have to have a neighborhood. I would go to school like they had the what they call the meetings at schools.
PTA meetings.
PTA meetings.
Parents.
And every parent in each neighborhood should have one parent should have a party, and all the kids should come there to that party, dressed up, get up, and
I can see something like that. Cause the thing that get me with the holidays, what I like about Halloween, I'm an artist, so I like the whole, you know,
get up
the makeup. Just like Christmas, I like decorating.
Back in the days, you had masquerade parties.
Yeah, so when it falls into line, cause we're against holidays. But when it falls into line of me wanting to participate in the holidays because of the artistic part of it, you know what I'm saying?
Masquerade parties, you have kings and queens who throw masquerade parties. You come up dressed up masquerade, and things like that would eliminate eliminate all the scary parts of you letting the kids.
You got one person to point at, like it was at your house. They got all this candy from your house.
Not only that, all the other stuff that can happen while the child is out walking, going house to house, the car accidents, the abductions, the candy's been poisoned, or drugs in the candy.
Yeah, because when you think about that, what you just said about the candy being poisoned, like I can remember, because like I said, my grandma was Jehovah's Witness, so my grandma went with that. But when I went with my cousin, they would say, "Oh, always check your candy for poison." How the hell do you check your candy
to
for
see
poison?
if they've been open. That's the only thing you can do is tell if it's been open.
Because if they open the candy and spray a clear mist of something on that, you don't know.
Or stuck in a needle, a syringe
in school. Yeah, so that. I always used to be baffled when my cousins would be like, "Oh, make sure you check your candy for poison." I'm like, "What are we looking for?"
Yeah.
Like, it's just crazy.
But it's just and
I think some people don't think it's.
There's a lot of stuff to eliminate that. Like I think at one time I remember it was a mall. They used to have. They used to have things you go to the mall.
To different stores?
Yeah, you go to the mall and do it, but then I didn't hear anything else anymore about it.
When I worked in the mall in Miami, I was at the clothing store, Oak Tree, and I remember we had kept candy there for kids in the mall. And
we had candy at the stores I used to work when I worked at hardware stores. We had candy in the hardware stores. Kids would come in.
But I wouldn't. My kids wouldn't. If they dressed up, it'll be like, cause like one of my cousins, one thing that they mom did that was cool. You know how they do the Easter egg hunt? What she did with my mom, cause my mom and my cousin, they grew up like sisters. They were on the same age. They hid candy all over the house, so we was able to dress up at home, but we had to search all over the house to find candy. Whoever found the most candy had the most candy. So it was just and under sofa pillows and. I think that's fun because it's like, the kids at home, they engage.
Keep them in the house.
Yeah. And then we went to 7-Eleven because that's when they had those them 3D glasses. And there was this movie that was called Take the Mask Off Now. You familiar with that? I don't know. I think he said put the mask on now. Take the mask off now. It was called The Mask.
Oh, is that when they put the glasses on to see the movie? Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, we looked at it on our regular TV at home. But it was something about when he put the mask on and take it off. I think it's called The Mask.
I think I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, but the chant was like, take the mask off now, put the mask on now. But yeah, we used to be home like, cause I don't really mess with scary movies like that.
No, we used to like the marathons, the Twilight Zone marathons. Like now they got the Bewitched marathon.
I've seen that, and I want to watch that Bewitched marathon.
We used to watch all the different marathons at home and during the holidays. And
you remember Elvira?
Yeah,
Mistress of the Dark.
The dark hair
and does that guy fall under that too? Svengali? That's a part of that
Svengali,
too?
yeah.
Okay, yeah. But yeah, man, that's crazy.
So be safe out there.
Yep.
And look out for your kids and
Shit, it need to be a healthy Halloween where they find broccoli and carrot sticks.
You know, I was about to say that, but I'm thinking, well, that's more food, and I don't think anybody would do that.
They should,
I was thinking
because
about that, but
that candy, all that stuff is programming. Cause them kids, we just breaking free from candy right now. I mean, I'm surprised at myself in my 50s, like, cause I was you know how I was, M&M's and Sneakers and Twix and Three Musketeers, and I was a junk food king, and I got that from my mom, cause my mom was heavy on junk food. But yeah, them kids ain't gonna break off of that stuff that easy like that.
I like the ones like the Snickers, because it had peanuts in it. I always thought that was more healthier.
I liked everything.
Peanut butter and chocolate.
Reese's, that was like my least favorite, but it was good. But
I used to love it. I don't know what Reese's. Is it Reese's
the peanut butter cups. Yeah, that was my least favorite. But and then Reese's, remember the Reese's that look like M&M's?
Yeah, I know like that.
Those are like lower on my
chocolate
list.
covered M&M's, I love them.
I used to kill them things. Then they came out with some with Rice Krispie inside. So that put me in the whole Nestle Crunch kind of, you know what I'm saying? Yeah.
The Heath bars. I used to
that was
love
lower
those.
on my list.
Yeah, I used to love the Heath bars.
What about Baby Ruth? Baby Ruth?
Yeah, Baby Ruth. Yeah, I love that.
Yeah, we used to tell them
peanuts and stuff in that. Yeah.
I bet you don't remember one called whatchamacallit.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I used to tell them up.
That one came like later on, though, like in the 80s.
Whatchamacallit was the bar.
Yeah.
Then they had another one called the $1 Million Bar.
Okay, yeah, that was a 70s.
You familiar with that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah.
That still make that.
I was the junk food king, y'all. Yeah. My favorite of all is the one we was going wild over, the nutty.
Oh, the Munch.
Munch. Oh my goodness.
That's like peanut brittle.
I'm addicted to that. I'm addicted to that.
I found them now because
Munch bars, y'all, and we should be talking this up.
Like it's peanuts and caramel.
It's that Munch bar we used to kill those
number
things.
One.
Cause I seen them on Amazon and they were selling a box of them for $45.
And we was getting them by the box.
Oh, we was getting the Munch. I think it's made by the same people that make M&M's. Mars, I think they named them.
I thought it was Snickers.
I don't know, but I thought it was maybe all that's made by the same. I don't know.
But yeah, peanut brittle. That's like peanut brittle.
I like peanut brittle.
Yeah,
I'm a fan of peanut brittle. But yeah, y'all. So y'all got our take on motherhood and fatherhood, and we'll probably be touching the same subject up on other shows because we talk all across the board with everything. And for some of the people that have never met your father, I know something inside of you may want that void filled, but just keep in mind that when that void get filled, it can get filled with some bad stuff. So sometimes I think it's good to just leave well enough alone. Yeah. Cause my father, me dealing with him, he filled my void up with a bunch of bad stuff, and eventually we'll have a whole show where we just talking about that kind of stuff.
Every situation is different.
Yeah, he filled my void up with a bunch of bad stuff.
Every situation is different. Like you had that void, but you would have never known that if you want to open your door, because even though that just show, like I said, that just shows the type of person you are, because he popped up unannounced. And you still open your door and
nourish him back to health.
Yeah.
Cause when he got off that Greyhound, y'all, dude, he had no shoes on his feet. He rode from Florida Greyhound all the way to Atlanta with no shoes, and he was half dead. It was like a corpse.
Like 180 pounds.
Whatever he was, it was sad. It was bad.
He wasn't taking none of his medication.
Yeah. And he came here with us and got nourished back to health 1,000%. Wasn't getting full disability until I assisted him with paperwork and doctor's visits,
3-4 months of
visits.
Going to the doctors every day, the first 60 days or 67 and 68 days, you were going every day,
back to back.
8 hours, 10 hours, and then that's not even counting the driving time.
Yeah.
That's sitting in the
my
the
days were used. Yeah, it's crazy.
Because you were like, I think a couple of times I had my days. I worked 10 hours, and I think sometimes we're on our way. Y'all just beat me home.
And
I think y'all just beat me home.
Some of the days when Kev would be leaving out, me and my father would be leaving out, and then we'll be getting. By the time he done worked a 10-hour shift, we making it home around the same time.
Right before, and then sometimes before I get home.
And the sad thing about it,
20 minutes before me, or 30 minutes before me.
Yeah, the sad thing about it, all of the years my father wasn't getting 100% disability, he come around his oldest child, and I helped him get that, and then he just changed. He did a 180 and turned into the biggest asshole.
I can tell you, the reason why he got 100% disability is because when you went into those doctor offices, they saw a son bringing his father that had a stroke.
He was playing
and
off
played
of that.
That played on people. That played on people's conscience. And that played on that sympathy. That's what did it.
He's an actor.
That is what did it. I guarantee you 100% that's what did it.
There's been situations while we would be out in public, you know, at the VIP, be like, oh, this is so good. You're here with your dad. You raised him good. Now he's paying you back. And he would take all of that in.
And he know he was lying.
It was said to him so much. And he stood there like, you know, like, I'm like...
And especially when
and I kept my mouth shut, but you know you ain't raised me.
Yeah,
you know
not
what I'm
only
saying?
that, when somebody said thanks for your service.
Yeah, that was another thing. And y'all, that's a whole nother topic. Like, that's when I started learning he was an actor.
Yeah, he sat there and act just like that happened to him from him being in the service.
Yeah, his condition, y'all, he's not a war vet or anything. He's somebody that's an addict that has been addicted to drugs for decades. But if you look at him and you know he's a veteran, it looked like he done been through Vietnam War, World War II. What was the other one? The Desert Storm. Yeah, he got that look about him. So that's how he acts. But if you ask him about his history with the military, you'll find out that he was in the military in the early 70s for only 2 years. Not like some of these wounded warriors that done been there for like 14, 15, 16, 20 years. That got hurt fighting on the line of battle. And some of them that lost their lives. But yeah, he's been just acting. And yeah, that's like I said, I knew when it wasn't going to last. Because I don't want to be around that kind of energy. You around here acting. That's crazy. But yeah, anyway, y'all. It's going to be a thing that eventually I'll stop talking about. Because I'm going to just...
And to the true vets out there, thanks for your service.
For the real veterans, the real veterans,
all the best.
Not the actors. Yeah.
You're the reason why this country is the type of country that you can be proud to be in.
Yeah.
For the things that are they're all good about our country.
And those are the people that truly deserve a disability check for their service, not somebody that is playing on the system. You know what I'm saying? Because that's basically, after I was around him long enough, I'm like, wait, I think he's playing on the system. You know what I'm saying? That's taxpayers' money, and you're a drug addict. Because before he got here with us, y'all, like, he had got locked up for 3 months, and during those 3 months, the percentage of the disability he was getting, it went to his direct deposit 3 times. Soon as he got out, he got all of that money. One of my cousins called me from Florida. Hey, man, your dad is slumped over on the ground in front of a dope house. All that money sent him right back to dope. So that's not fair. Just like these women that's getting these EBTs and this, all this, it's not fair on the taxpayer, you know, that like these people get to do these things.
With this government shutdown, they're gonna be doing a lot of reviewing.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, they're gonna start doing a lot of reviewing. They're gonna start looking into they're doing a lot of investigation. Because they're not just they're not sending out checks no more, just willy-nilly. And I think
it's a lot of other veterans out there like my father. They need to check into that, because that's a waste of money.
I guarantee
if you giving this person this money and they using it for alcohol, and that ain't got shit to do with saving the country or American freedom and luxuries.
And when they review his case and they like say, okay, he was in the service in the 70s, 2 years. Oh, he's got a stroke.
And this is 2025. Like, yo, where you done been at? Like, he ain't even left the country.
And the thing about this is African American native, they're gonna really review his case.
Yeah, it's crazy. And I think they need to go across the board for all these people that's getting free money, because we in new days. Yeah. These are new times where we're more enlightened.
Yeah, the people that really deserve it need to get it. And that's for everything, the EBT, the Section 8, and all those other SNAP and all these other programs, and the VAs. All that money need to be put in the right hands. Mm-hmm. And all those cases need to be reviewed.
Yeah. It's crazy. It is crazy. And I think a lot of it is like, it's a crime.
Yeah, it is.
That's a crime.
Again, like, share, and subscribe. and comment.
True that. And guess we're gonna get out of y'all hair for now until y'all see us again. Cause we got another
Good
episode
Friday evening
coming from what's it called? Freedom Stars After Dark. So
and a wonderful Saturday morning. And a wonderful Saturday AM. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Yeah, we been trying not to use the word morning. We gonna have an episode about the language too. So I'm gonna start having my notes with me, cause when I have my notes, you know, I feel like I'll be more on point. Yeah, with especially with stuff like that when we explain the
like,
different
share,
words.
subscribe, and comment. Thanks for all the cash apps. Thanks for all the donations. We love you. Help us get past our 20,000.
Yes. And check out our song "Goat" that's about to play right now.
Those giants whom shoulders we all stand, and to those giants whom shoulders we all stand upon, I say thank you. Sticks and stones may break my bones, but your words will forever empower me, greatest of all time. I'm happy to be alive. I'm happy to be who I am, Michael Jackson. Challenges make you discover things about yourself that you never really knew, Cicely Tyson. In order to change the world, you got to get your head together first, Jimi Hendrix. I sing to the realists, people who accept it like it is, Aretha Franklin. If you cannot find peace within yourself, you will never find it anywhere else. Marvin Gaye, by any means necessary. Malcolm X. I always knew I was a star. Now the rest of the world seems to agree with me. Freddie Mercury. I'm no longer accepting the things I cannot change. I'm taking the things that I cannot accept. Angela Davis. G. O. A. T. Greatest of all time. 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 Good communication is the bridge between confusion and clarity. Dan Turner, you get to an age where you get tired of hiding behind whatever people think is correct. Baby, right? What happens to a dream? Does it drive like a raisin?
Oh yeah, that was
it. I'm going to a building when you stand in the truth.
But it could be dental and we know we fight it.
Oh, you know what I did? One of the reasons people that hate so stubbornly is because they sense once the hate is gone, they'll be forced to deal with the pain. Pain's forward. Because nothing that makes them alive is searching the truth. One of the things that can solve most of my problems is dancing. James Brown, off of the greatest of all time. G. O. A. T. 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 Greatest of all time. To be afraid is to behave as if the truth were not true. By Rustin. We are all one, and if we don't know it, we will learn the hard way. By Rustin. I never accepted the idea that I had to be guided by some pattern of blueprint. Little Richard, a healthy body is worth more than any dollar amount. We don't want to be the wealthiest person on the hospital bed. Dr. Seeley, never abandon your visions. Keep reaching to further your dreams. Benjamin Banneker, life is short, and what we have to do must be done in the now. Audre Lorde, we as human beings must be willing to accept people who are different from ourselves. Barbara Jordan, you never know where a blessing can come from. Tina Marie. G. O. A. T. Greatest of all time. 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 If you can conceive it and believe it, you can achieve it. But there must be a plan. We have to set goals, review them constantly, shift directions when necessary, but always stay focused. Andrea Jenkins. G. O. A. T.
You can reach that.
G. O. A. T. Greatest of all time.
Thank y'all.
Like, share, and subscribe,
Oh,
and comment.
hold on. I almost messed up. I still did it. I'll be getting goofy, y'all. I'll try not to let the next song come on. But yeah, like, share, subscribe, and we will see y'all on the next show.
And comment.
Same time, same place.
And keep subscribing. Let's get past 20,000.
Share it, comment, like, subscribe, all that good stuff. Yeah.
Right.
Peace.
So you just
I'm close up.